Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is September 25th, 2016, and welcome to another week of a weekly gaming news show with your host. My name is Trenell, and I'm here with the one, the only, the homie, Todd, aka Up Jump the Boogie. What's going on, Todd?
Hey, not much, man. Not much.
Not
Just
much indeed. There's not a lot of news to talk about.
no, no.
It's been a really dry week as far as news has been concerned.
That that's
But
all. That's all right because it let me grind up in Destiny. I'm
right,
good.
yeah, this guy's been busy. This guy has been busy on some Destiny. But we have a few stories that we want to talk about with you guys. So hopefully we can make it interesting because this first story is not going to be anything that Boogie wants to talk about. So, but
Oh, and what would that be? I wonder.
yeah, we'll see. But first, we got to get through our weekly icebreaker, and I wanted to just kind of just take a break from going through stories that have everything to do with the or questions that have to do with the stories, and just ask like a random question just to kind of get the brain moving. If anybody is new to the podcast, every week before we start with our stories, we have what I like to call the weekly icebreaker, and we basically just ask a question of the panel. Usually it's just myself and Boogie, but if we have guests, we ask them, either a question that has to do with the stories for the week or just something random in general to get the creative juices flowing, just get you thinking. It's like one of those comprehensive thinking questions they asked you in like language arts class in in school and whatever. But we just want to
Don't
get you thinking.
don't bring up school.
No,
Nobody
no
wants to hear
school?
about
Oh,
school.
okay.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear about school. So this week's question is, what is your favorite XBLA game or Xbox Live Arcade? And the reason I ask this is because if you go back and look on the 360, man, the arcade is dead.
Yeah.
It's like not even a thing anymore. Like
It's-
I remember like the summer of arcade like events that
oh
happened. Oh
yeah.
my
Those are
god, so
amazing.
many dope ass games would come out.
They replaced that with the Xbox Gold sale, right?
Yeah, yeah, with the gold sales
But
or
that,
whatever.
I mean, that's great because
No, yeah,
that's
definitely.
cool. But yeah, the arcade titles that some arcade is sorely missed. That's for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely. So I'll let you go ahead and answer this first. What's your favorite Xbox Live Arcade game?
Oh, I'm an old head, so I'm gonna tell you Pac-Man Championship Edition. That's
Yo,
by far my favorite. I've crushed some Pac-Man Championship. Oh my goodness, dude! Listen, Pac-Man, womba womba womba, man. I'll get on Pac-Man, and like 2 hours later, I don't even know what happened
yeah,
because I'm playing Pac-Man.
that is definitely a fun one. I mean, I never really played like Pac-Man like in the arcades or anything like that, but when the championship edition came, because I think there's two of them, and there's another one coming out, a third one, or
There's two Championship Editions, and then the one was it the one that's on Steam? What 256, right?
256. Yeah, so I've played both like one and 2. And man, like those games are just addicting because they move so it's so quick. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
so yeah.
And like you're just going through the commands and it's all on you. There's no like, oh well, like shenanigans. Like no, you didn't make that turn correctly, therefore
You
freaking
die.
Inky or Blinky, he got your ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And you know what? The thing I like most about it is the freaking soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
god, it's just
it's really good. If you haven't played any of those Pac-Man games on XBLA, try give it a chance, give it a go because they definitely are fun. And if you're into like dance, techno, trip hop, whatever you want to call it, that type of music, the soundtrack is really it matches the game
yeah, definitely.
perfectly.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit obscure for my choice, and this is a game that probably not a lot of people play. I doubt you have ever played it. It's called Small Arms. Have you ever heard of that game?
I may have read something about it in passing. I can't say I have any idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so basically it's like a Smash Brothers type clone where you play with these like made up crazy looking characters and I mean, it's pretty much a Smash Brothers clones. You have like projectile weapons, and you have like melee weapons, and you basically just beat the shit out of like everybody else. It's 4 players, and it's probably one of the first, like, 4-player games that I played on Xbox Live. Without like split screen or anything like that. But yeah, it was a super fun game, and they actually released this it's backwards compatible now. I remember seeing a post for it. This game is backwards compatible on the Xbox One right now.
That's cool. That's actually really cool.
And it was released in 2006. This is a 10-year-old game.
Wow, that's actually really cool. The fact that it's backwards compatible. That's
so
really cool.
it's kind of like a mashup between like Super Smash Brothers and like Power Stone, like as far as like arena combat, and then like it has like elements of like 2D like side scroller shooters like a Contra or like a Metal Slug, or something like that, because you have your close range weapons, and then you also have like long range like projectiles as well. And the character that I remember the most and will probably make the most sense to anybody who's ever played it was this like cat character. And he had like he would, he was a brawler, but then he also had I think it was his right hand was a Gatling gun. And that was like my main character in the game. And it was really cool. It was really, really cool for the time. Because back then I think, it was still Melee Boys. It was like no Smash Brothers Brawl wasn't even being thought of. So as far as like, arena combat like kind of games like this, they were pretty far in between.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that actually sounds like a cool game.
Yeah, I liked it, man. I'm gonna have to pick it up and play it again one of these days.
Do you know if it's still available in the store?
I mean, if it's backwards compatible, then I would think so. Right? Because you're right. There are a lot of Xbox Live games that are just not available anymore.
Right.
Like if you either have it on your hard drive and it's there, or it's like, because you can't purchase it anymore. It doesn't even have like a page on the server anymore. Like it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Like a lot of those like Ninja Turtle games are just gone.
Ninja Turtles. I remember that one night. It was me, you, Hush, and March, right?
It was March. We went through it was the original 1980 arcade game. The first one. Yep. Destroyed that game.
That was fun.
So much fun.
Yeah, it was mad fun. Definitely.
That's another one. That's a contender for favorite XBLA game. But just because of how obscure this game is, I'd have to go with that. It was like the main reason I came up with the icebreaker question is because I wanted to talk about that game. That's pretty much it. Man, so with that said, let's go ahead and get into our top 5 stories for the week. If you're new to the podcast, we basically just grab 5 stories, any 5 stories that we think are worth mentioning, and we basically report on them, and then we have like a discussion on them, but basically giving our interpretation of what it means, and just giving you guys the news and like how we feel about it. And I already know how Boogie feels about this.
So we can go ahead and start with this one.
Yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one.
The company that shall not be named.
The company that shall not be named has released a brand new trailer, and it's Pokemon, of course. If there's 2 things that we've been talking about on this podcast since we started, it's Nintendo and Pokemon.
The company that shall not be named.
Okay, so if you haven't already noticed, Boogie is not on good terms with with Pokemon right now. So basically, they released a new trailer, and it gives us some more information, new Pokemon, and so I have a few bullet points here, so I'm just gonna go down the list. First off, we have a new Pokemon. It's a fighting type. And the thing with me is I always have trouble. I don't even try and pronounce Pokemon names anymore.
It's Passimian.
I don't even try anymore. It's just like they have so many Pokemon, and all of their names are god awful. I'm just done, man. I'm just done trying to freaking like say these names. But Passimian is up first. He's a fighting type. The next one we have here is Oranguru.
What is it? Yeah, or Oranguru.
Oranguru.
Oranguru. Yeah.
Oranguru.
Because he's like an orangutan.
But he's also a guru, I guess.
Yeah.
And these are version exclusive Pokemon. So the first one, Passimian, is only going to be in Pokemon Sun, and Oranguru is only going to be in Pokemon Moon. So that was one of the things that they were showing off, is that the game is going to have version specific Pokemon, and that's been a thing forever.
So let me throw this new question out there.
Okay.
When it's the version Pokemon, you only can catch it in Sun or Moon, but you can trade it.
Yes. Yes, that is correct. Because that's actually how you complete the Pokédex. You have to trade with the other version. Otherwise, you won't have a full Pokédex. So if that's something that you wanted to do, you would have to trade. Like even with the legendaries. Because of course, the different versions have specific legendary Pokemon. The ones that are on the cover are only in that game.
Okay.
Yeah. They also revealed a Pokemon Rockruff. His evolved form is gonna be version specific. So so you catch the Pokemon Rockruff.
In either one.
And in either version, Rockruff is in the game.
All right.
But when he evolves, depending on your version, he's gonna look different and have a different ability.
So in Sun, he's Lycanroc.
Yeah, Lycanroc.
And in Moon,
he's
Lycanroc in Moon.
Yeah, it's the same name. He just looks different, and he has a different ability. The ability that they call it the midday form. He has an ability called Sand Rush that is exclusive to Sun. And then Lycanroc in the midnight form, which is the one that you get from Pokemon Moon, he will have an ability called Vital Spirit. Now, I'm not exactly sure what these different abilities do, but I'm actually liking the midnight form. He looks pretty fucking dope. He looks dope. So if you haven't already, if you haven't been watching the podcast or listening, I'm gonna be getting Pokemon Moon, and that's only because my friend already called out Sun, and I'm gonna be using this Pokemon against him. And just showing off like, yo, look at my boy. My Lycanroc looks better than you, son. Mine look better than yours. So they have different abilities, and that's pretty much the only thing. Another thing that they showed off in the trailer was the ability to customize your avatar. And this isn't new to Pokemon. You were able to customize back in like X and Y. But it looks like they're putting a lot more detail into it. So of course, you can pick different types of clothes. Because I remember in X and Y, there weren't that many types of clothes, and I don't think that you could change your hair or anything. You can have different hairstyles, different hair colors, and they're definitely going all out with the character or avatar customization in this game. They don't want you to feel like you have to look a certain way.
Right.
So that's actually pretty cool. I kind of just like picked jeans and a jacket, and I was good for the whole game.
Good to go, right?
I was good to go. They also implemented this thing called grooming, and I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it looks like if your Pokemon is going through some kind of status effect, you can like pet it or like wash it or clean it or brush it or something, and it looks like it takes the status effect away. So like in the trailer, they actually show a Spearow. And it looks like he's poisoned because he has the little purple bubbles, like, bubbling up and popping near him. But then, like, he kind of just, like, cleans him off, and then he looks happy.
Right, and they showed the same thing for, like, an Eevee, right?
Yeah, the Eevee looked like he was paralyzed, and he, like, brushed his fur, I'm guessing with the stylus or whatever, on the bottom screen of your 3DS, and it takes the status effect away. Now, of course, I doubt that you'll be able to do this in battle. It looks like this is something that happens when you're just out in the world or whatever, kind of like the little bonus games that they had in previous versions. You just, little bonus games on the bottom screen.
Right.
So, I mean, this actually looks pretty cool because I always hated running out of, items to cure my Pokemon from like poison or paralysis and have to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center. So it looks like, I could, instead of doing all of that, I could just
Brush
groom
his hair.
them. I could just give them a bath real quick.
That's
And
right. I got the flu, so I'm just rub my head a little bit. And,
yeah,
alright.
good boy. All right, you're done being poisoned. So hey, I don't know. The last thing that they showed off was new Z moves, and if you haven't heard what Z moves are, they're basically like super attacks or like ultra attacks. I don't really know how to categorize it. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to work or what conditions you'll need in order to pull these moves off. But it looks like some kind of like super special move. I don't know. Well, I'll have to see or look into more information on it. I haven't really been looking into it, but they showed off the Z move for Pikachu. Catastrophica. Because it's like a catastrophe, but with Pikachus, I guess. I guess they thought those two words would go together well.
Not really.
So that's what the Z move is called. And basically, if you look at the trailer, you do a little dance with your Pikachu, and then you launch him into the air. You just throw him at the other Pokemon. That's what it looks like. It looks like a terrible move.
It looks like a terrible move.
Because you just throw him at another Pokemon. It's like what is this game? I don't know what this game is coming to. Like I'm excited for it, but these extra things are just to me they're just doing a little too much. Like and that's a long animation. I'm gonna have to watch that entire animation every time I want to do that move. Like that's what I'm concerned with. That's like a 12, 13 second animation to just watch for one attack. You know what I'm saying?
Put
Like
your
I
PS
kind of
down, go get you something to drink and come back.
yeah, I could go. All right, Catastrophe. Let me go make a sandwich, and then when I come back, it'll be my turn again. Like come on, so they're doing a little too much with this. That's just my opinion. But the last thing that they showed was the Z move for Eevee. And this one is actually pretty cool because if you don't know what Eevee is, it's a Generation 1 Pokemon. And in Generation 1, it could evolve into 3 different Pokemon depending on what stone you gave it. So if you gave it a Thunderstone, it would turn into an electric Pokemon, Jolteon. If you gave it a Firestone, it would turn into fire Pokemon, Flareon. And the same for the Water Stone with Vaporeon. And in each new release, they have added new types. So now there's an ice version, there's a grass version, there's a dark version, there's a psychic version, and with this game, there's now I think it was either this game or the last. No, it's this game. There's a fairy version of Eevee, and so if you just have the regular base Eevee, its Z move is called Extreme Evo Boost. And basically what it does is it calls upon the rest of the Eevee family, and they all just like power the base form up, and you just like do like a super crazy attack. So it's actually pretty cool. It reminds me of the Final Smash for Mega Man in Super Smash Brothers, where he calls out all the other Mega Men and they do like a super like devastation attack or whatever.
Right.
So that's actually pretty cool. I don't mind it too much, but again, it's one of those like Z moves, and it's not actually. Let me backpedal a bit. It's not actually an attack, but what it does, it boosts all of Eevee's stats.
All her stats, right? Attack, defense, speed,
yeah, attack,
such.
defense, speed. Like it boosts them like quite dramatically actually, because there's some moves that like boost your defense, and then like there's some moves that will sharply like raise like each stat. So all of your stats just get like super good. So if there was any reason not to evolve your Eevee, it's probably this one, because this seems like a very useful move.
Right.
And I think it's the first Z move that hasn't been like an actual physical attack. Like it's a buff, which is interesting. So I mean, but that was all that they showed from the trailer. Again, the game comes out this year in November. On November 18th is when the game comes out. I'm gonna be getting Pokemon Moon. If anybody wants to play with me, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. We can battle and trade some Pokemans. Let's go. I'm all for it. But with that, we're gonna move away from Pokemon. Bookie had a few words here and there, but he doesn't like talking about Pokemon or Nintendo because of
I'm just got a moratorium on them until they give us some more. Stop dragging us along.
Yeah, he's sick of their shit pretty much.
Yeah.
With the NX, they definitely need to give us some news on the NX and stop faking out here.
Right.
But let's go ahead and move on to the next story, and I'll go ahead and take this one as well because
this is one of your games.
Yeah, this is one of the games that I've been playing, and this is actually a story that came out of the Tokyo Game Show. And there was an interview with the CEO of From Software.
Yeah, From Software. Right.
Yeah, the guys behind the Dark Souls series, and the main guy. Goddamn, I can't say his name. He's Japanese. I can't say it. But he's the president of From Software, and he was the lead director on Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, which, if you ask anybody, are the best two in the entire series. And the question was raised that, will there be another Dark Souls after the DLC? And this guy, he was really quick to just be like, no, this is the last one. And it just kind of took everybody by surprise, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
that definitive too. That's
yeah, he was like, straightforward. It wasn't no Kojima underlying details or any trolling going on. He was like, no, this is it. This is the last one. And it's kind of taken a lot of fans by surprise and by storm. Me personally, I just got into. I mean, I played the first one years after it had already been out, and I didn't like it. I thought it was way too fucking hard, and I was not about that life. So I put it down forever. I think it was release free on Xbox 360 as a game for gold. And that was how I picked it up.
Got it.
And so I was like, "Oh no, bro, this shit right here?
No, thank you, huh?
No, thank you." I was yeah. But then when Dark Souls 3 came out, and I think I was interested in the series. I got back interested in the series after the release of Bloodborne, and just watching people play that game. It looked so freaking fun. And now at the time, I did not have a PS4, so I couldn't play Bloodborne.
Right.
But then when Dark Souls 3 was announced, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this another try. And I love Dark Souls 3. I love it. And this is something that I've said in the past, is that with every new game in the series, they've always tried to make it more accessible to newcomers.
Right.
So in my opinion, now, I wouldn't say that the game is the easiest in the series. I don't think I'm at liberty to say that, but I definitely think it's the easiest to pick up and play. And I feel like the game series as a whole has kind of steered away from this shit is hard as fuck, you're gonna lose, fuck you,
right,
to more of a, okay, yeah, you're gonna die, but you're only gonna lose a couple souls. So just get back in there, try again. You know what I'm saying? They kind of backpedaled on how harsh they are with the losing. You know what I'm saying?
they have to, because the hardcore gamer is the minority. That's the 1%, right? Or so about 3% of the population really enjoy that and will tooth to nail beat the game, right? But then there's the people that play it just like when you first played. It's like, look, this is too much. I'm done. And when they get that type of reaction, you tell your friends that, for each person, they tell 6 other people that the game is crap. They lose sales. Yeah. It's definitely something that's.
Because I even noticed it in the paperwork that came with the game. It was you're gonna lose, but it's only a few souls, man. Just get back in there, keep trying. Right. They're trying to encourage you to not give up, and it was something that kind of just stuck in my head. They went from, because I remember the the Game of the Year edition for the first Dark Souls was you're gonna die. It was Dark Souls, you're gonna die edition. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Nah, you're doing too much. You're doing too much out here. But I've definitely been having a lot of fun with Dark Souls 3. The DLC is coming out very soon, and I plan on playing. I plan on playing that with my brother, and I think there's one more DLC.
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, there's going to be two. So the first one is,
Is it this winter or this fall?
I believe, is this fall.
Yeah, October 25th.
Yeah, so yeah, it's coming. It's coming out very soon, and I will definitely be playing it. But in the interview, he definitely said that this is the last one. Now, he didn't say that this will be the last like Souls type game ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
he said it's the last Dark Souls.
it's the last Dark Souls.
He did specify that. There also is a quote saying that they are working on other dark fantasy games.
Right.
So
And there's been some rumors that they're going to be trying to bring back some of their early IPs using this new format that they've built with the Dark Souls series. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that might be helpful. I mean,
Yeah.
beneficial. Might be
Yeah, yeah,
super-
like some HD remasters of some of their class because these guys have been making hard ass fucking games forever. If you look into their library, they have a lot of games that are very similar to Dark Souls, but it's just as technology has just been progressing and getting better and better, they have been adapting and they
Right.
just found something really special in the Souls series. So while they may be moving away from the Dark Souls like IP, he did say in the interview that they're going to be taking everything that they learned with the Dark Souls series and implementing that into new IPs.
new IPs. Yeah, he did say that. Yep. So I mean, Dark Souls as IP is, I wouldn't say it's dead. I mean, eventually it may come back at some point. But
Oh, yeah.
there's nothing in development right now,
no,
as far as we can tell.
besides the DLCs,
Besides the DLC,
and that's
yeah.
it. So I mean, for all of the Dark Souls fans out there, I definitely feel you on this one. For me coming into Dark Souls so late, it doesn't feel like it needs to go away just yet. But this is the third technically it's the fourth in the series because there was the Demon Souls that came out, and I'm not sure if that's considered a spin-off or I think Dark Souls 1 was a spin-off of Demon Souls or whatever, but it's practically the same game, and then you also have Bloodborne. So in reality, there's 5 games
That was in this Dark
that
Souls
was in
type
this
series.
in this Dark Souls type genre that they've been working on in the past few years. And I definitely am not against a studio, doing new things. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't get that a lot.
Yeah. Listening to Activision or Ubisoft. Well, not
Ubis-
Ubisoft.
Yeah, Activision and EA.
EA. Yeah. You guys listening? We like
Yeah,
new
so-
stuff.
So yeah, definitely not against them doing new things. And with the following that they've gathered over the years with the Soul series, it only ensures that whatever they come out with next, they're gonna have lots of support from the Souls
community. They
community and fan base.
They definitely have a robust community that'll support them because, like I said, you're not the first person I've talked to regarding the Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
The people that played it and enjoyed it, they really, really love it. I mean, it's just one of those things. If you play the game, you like it, and you tell others. It's very much like a cult type following. And like I said, it's not something I'm really into.
Yeah, I mean, it's either you're into it or you're not. It's not really an in between. I was
Right.
like I at first I didn't like it, and then like I now I love it. And regardless of if you like the gameplay or not, or you haven't played it, you gotta respect the just how much people like enjoy that type of game. Like you can't overlook how much of a following and how big this series has gotten over the years.
Right.
Because it's been pretty crazy. Like for a while, Souls was like the only thing that you talked about. But I'm definitely looking forward to the DLC. I'll be picking that up and definitely will be playing it. And with whatever the development company From Software, which is a very weird name, like what that's a weird name to me. But whatever they do next, they definitely will have the support from the Souls community. because they've been putting out a quality product for a while now.
Yeah, better part of what, 10 years?
Yeah, yeah, they've been doing it. They've been doing it well. So we're gonna move on to the next story, and I'm finally gonna give Boogie an opportunity to talk.
To talk, yeah. This kind of in passing. I don't know how many Blizzard fans were. I mean, we're Overwatch. Blizzard is
Overwatch.
Been very. It's been in the news a lot lately with that, and then of course they had the Warcraft, World of Warcraft DLC that recently released. But Blizzard is retiring the Battle.net name, the name only. The service and the service is still going to be up the back end. You know, Battle.net is what you use when you play a Blizzard game. World of Warcraft, Overwatch is basically what you use to play those games online, right? It's
right. So kind of like for Ubisoft, they have like Uplay. No, it's not like that.
It's like Blizzard's version of Xbox Live or PlayStation Network.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because Ubisoft has Uplay.
Oh, for PC.
Then, for PC. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay. It's basically it. Yeah. So they're changing, and this has been a long time coming. I mean, they've been changing. I mean, they have what, Blizzard Voice, and they have Blizzard Streaming, and they've been naming their particular features Blizzard. Put their name at the forefront, so it makes tons of sense that their most popular service in Battle.net will become Blizzard.net or whatever they decide to call it. So that's coming out. I don't know. People are upset about it.
I mean, it's just a name, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like they're really changing anything.
Yeah, Blizzard explicitly has said that it's not going to change any of the back end, how you connect or anything like that. It's just completely a name change.
I mean, because when I first signed on to Overwatch, they were like, you got to make a Battle.net account. What the hell is Battle.net? I didn't even know what it was. It's like, how do you even know what that is just from hearing it? Unless you've been in that community for
ages,
forever.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so that's coming out. I mean, that's coming.
Did they say when it's supposed to happen?
They didn't give a specific date. They're just saying sometime in the near future.
Yeah. So they'll probably just roll it out, slowly, whenever.
Right. So, as not to surprise anybody when they go to log in, I guess. But yeah, I guess there were people upset about it. That's what I found. That's why I brought it up, is because it seemed to be polarizing. People like, it's just a name. Some people like, but it's Battle.net, and it's just a name.
I mean, I guess I can kind of understand where the other side is coming from, where Battle.net has had a long history, and has been around for however many years, and now it's like not gonna exist in the same way as it did before. I can understand that, but like this is just a way to connect to the servers. It's not like like Nintendo. Well, sorry, let me use another name. It's not like let's say Sega just like coming out of nowhere and saying like, we're no longer gonna be called Sega, we're gonna be called something else. You know what I'm saying? I think that right there would be a lot more devastating to a lot of gamers than just Battle. Like if Uplay decided to change a Uplay to Ubiplay, like I wouldn't give a goddamn.
Right. So and just like you said earlier in the conversation, is when you launched Overwatch and had to sign up for Battle.net, you're like, what the hell is Battle.net? But if it was called Blizzard.net, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Okay,
no big deal, right?
Yeah, this is the Blizzard account or whatever.
So it's basically a easier way for them to onboard new customers. I mean,
it's just it's just better branding.
Right.
Put your freaking name on it. Like, I don't know why their name wasn't on it to begin with.
Yeah, that's odd. I mean, it's been out since.
Yeah, since like what, like
20 years.
Yeah,
it's like 20 years, literally, like 96. Yeah. So I mean,
you'll be all right.
Yeah,
Battle.net.
You don't have to change your name. You don't have to change your usernames or passwords or anything like that. You're connected the same way. The day before the name change, you're connected the same way the day after the name change. So.
Yeah, I was actually a little more devastated when Justin TV went off the air and it was only Twitch. I was like, God damn, because I had a Justin TV account and I had a Twitch account, and then I had to integrate both of them or whatever.
Right.
So I was a little more devastated at that than this. I'm sorry. I'm not huge on Blizzard games. I play Overwatch, and that's about it.
That's it. I mean, I played ages ago. I used to play World of Warcraft. Not World of Warcraft. I'm sorry.
Just Warcraft.
Warcraft. Yeah, the RTS.
Yeah.
Not the MMO. I tried the MMO for 45 minutes. I guess that's how long my demo lasted, and that's all I've played.
It's like, well, I got that out of my system. Yeah, I don't do MMOs, man. I can't. I don't got enough time. I got a full-time job.
I don't mind MMOs. It's just World of Warcraft wasn't one I wasn't really at. The time investment, just like you said, is too much.
Right. It's too much. Not enough time for me to invest in one game.
Right.
Because you have to invest in those games, otherwise you're not going to do well.
Not going to do well, exactly. You have to.
Or you're just not going to have fun.
When
you do play, it won't be fun.
You got to get on that grind.
Got to get grinding, baby. All right, well, we got another story here for you guys, and it is the October Games for Gold. Now, if you don't know what Games for Gold is, it's every month Microsoft announces and releases 4 games, 2 on Xbox One and then 2 on Xbox 360, with the 360 games being backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So in total, if you have Xbox One, you get 4 games every single month for free if you have an Xbox Live Gold account. So with that being said, the 4 games that they're releasing this month are trash.
I don't know.
In comparison to what they've been releasing, this is definitely.
I mean, last month or this month in September, I should say. I mean, they released Earthlock, which you put a lot of time in. I put a lot of time. It's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
And that was actually like a brand new indie studio release. So I mean, it was a new release game, and they released it on Xbox Live. I mean, Xbox Games for Gold for free. Then they released Mirror's Edge. And they released Forza Horizon. I mean, they had. What was the 4th game? I'm blanking the 4th game.
Oh God, I can't remember.
Yeah. And speaking of Forza Horizon, they released it on Games for Gold. And they're sunsetting it. If you didn't hear, they're delisting it. It's no more support. It's going to be coming off the Xbox Live Store.
So what does that mean? So you just can't purchase it anymore?
Yeah, if you don't have it, you can't get it.
Okay, so like is the online server still working? Can you still play it online?
I believe so.
Okay. Cause I was like, yo, I'm glad I downloaded it. Cause I haven't even booted it up yet, but it's definitely something that I want to try.
Right. Yeah, you can get the game, but you just can't. I mean, you won't be able to get. You can play the game, but you just won't be able to get it.
Yeah, you won't be able to purchase it or get. It's not going to be on the store anymore.
Right, and that makes sense. The 3rd one is coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming out soon.
But this.
It was the Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. Yeah, that's what it was.
Assassin's Creed China. That's right. But this week's games for. I mean, this month's October's games for Gold are. They have the Super Mega Baseball, which seems like a.
Like an arcade baseball
game.
Title.
Think of like NFL Blitz with baseball.
Did they have an MLB like extreme sports game back on the day?
I believe they did.
If they did, I never played it. I played the NHL one because that was I forgot what the subtitle was. But there was NBA Street, and then there was.
No, there was NFL. Yeah, EA did the streets.
Yeah, I'm talking about the EA games because EA they went like all out with the extreme like arcade sports games.
Yeah, they did NBA Street. They did NFL Street. NFL Blitz was Midway.
Yeah, Blitz was Midway, and they had an NHL like sports game.
They did have an NHL one. I would assume they had baseball. I believe they did because I remember seeing like Ken Griffey Jr. I want to say Ken Griffey Jr. was involved in it somehow. But I have to really look into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't remember. I mean, I'm not a huge baseball fan, so it's probably why if there is one that I never heard of it.
Yeah. For many years, the only reason I played PlayStation is to play baseball.
Yeah.
And my PlayStation that's coming, it'll probably be my baseball station.
You know that I think there was a studio or like a subsidiary of the studio that makes the baseball games on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like gone or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, they laid off some of the developers.
Yeah,
It's the San Diego. What's the name of the developer?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's the San. Yeah, some people in the San Diego office got laid off, but they
They
said
basically kept everybody that works on the
on the
baseball
baseball
game.
game. That's right. Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, that's disappointing, but
Bonus news story.
yeah, bonus news story. Yeah, but this looks like yeah, definitely like an NBA Street, an NFL Blitz. More, I
It
would
looks
say,
more cartoony.
yeah, more like NBA Jam than any like NFL Street, because NFL Street or what's the other one? NBA Street were a little more realistic, but this one the characters have like big heads and they throw
Yeah.
like flame balls and all this other crazy stuff. But I mean, I'll give that a try.
Yeah, maybe me and you can give it a try
But
if it's online. I mean,
I would imagine it
I,
a sports.
I wouldn't mind playing like an arcadey type game.
Yeah, and then
But go ahead.
the next game is what they Escapist. I don't know much of anything about this. I mean,
No.
I looked at the thing. It looks like an 8-bit type, one of those 8-bit retro type games. It's like a prison escape. It seems like it's like a puzzle type game where you got to break out of prison over and over again.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
Yeah, no interest in it. I mean, I've seen this game like plenty of times on the marketplace or whatnot.
On sale, yeah.
Yeah, on sale, and it just like never caught my eye. Never was anything that I thought that I would want to play. I mean, I do like, I do have like a soft spot for like 8-bit games, but or like retro style games. But yeah, I don't know. This looks nah.
I have an opinion about developers that make these retro style games, and it's not endearing.
Oh Lord, are we going into one of our patented boogie rants?
No, I'm just
Okay.
gonna leave it at that.
Just gonna leave it at that. Okay, we'll rant on that later. What's the next game?
MX versus ATV, which actually that one I'll give a try because I kind of like those. I call them like real advanced excite bike type games. It's basically like dirt bike. You do tricks, stunt bike game. Those games I enjoy. I mean, for that, I'll get that.
Yeah, I mean this looks pretty cool. I never really got into like the MX versus ATV because there was like an entire series.
Oh yeah.
Of these games, and I think the subtitle for this was called Reflex. It was a 360 game.
Right.
Never really got into it. It was one ATV game that I did play. I cannot remember what it was called. It was made by Disney Interactive Studios, and I'm gonna find it.
That's a callback from the past, Disney Interactive Studios.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they still make these MX ATV games, right? They have Supercross.
The one I'm talking about was called Pure, and that shit was dope.
Oh, I remember Pure. Yeah, I do remember.
That shit was dope. If they released that on Games for Gold, then we may not be talking so much shit about this lineup.
Yeah.
But as far as this, I mean, I'll download it just because it's free and probably won't boot it up.
Yeah, I'll play it a couple of times. I mean, like I said, I don't mind. I like the dirt bike stunt type racing games. I enjoy them just for a bit of a hoop. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not something that I would particularly pay, or definitely not something I would pay money for. So it's free. I may give it a shot. And there's one more. Which one is this?
I Am Alive is the last one. It seems to be like a horror type genre.
Survival horror. Okay, so I actually owned this game. I bought this on the 360 a little while ago, and I Am Alive is actually pretty interesting. I never beat it, but there is a large emphasis on like interactions with the characters in this game. So kind of the same way that what's that one on the PlayStation 3 made by Naughty Dog? I can't. The name is just escaping me right now.
Last of Us.
Yeah, kind of like The Last of Us. Like if you point a weapon at somebody, like the NPCs, they'll react a certain way. Like even if the gun is empty, you know what I'm saying? So like you're bluffing and you have to use these interactions with NPCs to your advantage. So if you're holding a gun and it's empty and you say, hey, don't freaking move, and the guy, he might get scared like oh or whatever. So it's interesting. I may pick it back up one of these days, but
Yeah.
not a terrible game, but
But yeah, I mean,
as
I
a
think
whole, yeah.
maybe we were a bit spoiled last month. But I mean, those are the
I
four
think
free
that's definitely
games.
what it was.
Um, and
We've been spoiled for the past
that's,
few months.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it slows down, but I will commend Microsoft on their in general. Their games for gold have been pretty good, at least this year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
but
it was a statistically speaking, it was about time before we got
junk,
some
right?
games that
And
we didn't want to play.
and it's not necessarily junk games. It's just games that we don't like.
Yeah, yeah. Personally,
Yeah.
there
So
might be some super mega baseball fans like, oh fuck yeah, yes,
I've been waiting
super
for
mega
that.
baseball. That's my jam, man. It's like some people out there just might love all of these, and I think there's multiple escapist like games. I think there's like a few. I think that's actually like a series.
Yes, I think are they games or are they like content ads?
No idea, but I've seen multiple like escapist like games on the marketplace,
Yeah,
or it could just been like DLC upgrades or whatever.
the Escapist, The Walking Dead, Law and Order bundle.
Yeah. So there could be very like strong fan bases for all of these games.
Right.
We're just not two of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, in our opinion, take this as you will, but it's our opinion
For what
that
it's worth.
for
Yeah.
what it's worth, these games are garbage. These are trash games.
And just to get into the particulars, Super Mega Baseball will be available starting October 1st, and that'll be available all month, so the 1st through the 31st. The Escapist becomes available on October 16th and is available until November 15th. MX versus ATV is available on the 1st through the 15th, and I Am Alive is available on October 16th through the 31st.
Right. So basically, you get one game for the first half of the month, and then the second game for the second half of the month into the next month.
Into the yeah.
So that's usually how they do it. So with that, we will move on to the next and our last story for the week before we get into our long form discussion, and that is going to be news on Street Fighter V. Now, as somebody that plays Street Fighter V, it's actually kind of surprising that I didn't hear anything about this. But basically, last week on I believe it was Wednesday, the 21st or the 22nd, there was an update that released a new character. I don't know how people say it differently. Some people say Urian, some people say Urian. How would you say his name?
Urian?
Urian?
Or
Yeah.
Urian. I
No,
say Yuri.
definitely not Ryan.
It's like, because URI, I see Yuri. And then
Urian.
Urian.
Urian. Okay, so Urian is a throwback character from Street Fighter 3, and he did make an appearance in the story mode. So finally, he is a playable character, and he is the last playable character from season 1 of Street Fighter 5.
And just a quick a weird trick. Apparently, you can play with Urian in his Street Fighter 3 underpants.
Oh yeah, because in the story and like all of his costumes, he has clothes on. But if you played Street Fighter 3, the only way to play as Urian is with the diaper on, man. That's it. Diaper Urian forever, dog. But yeah, there's like it's cool because instead of it being like an alternate costume, it's actually a button command that you input on the controller. I can't remember. You hold down 3 buttons. I can't remember which 3 it is. But when you do that, he has a special custom intro, and he basically just burns all his clothes off. It's the greatest. It is the greatest ever, and I can't wait for the modders to just remove the loincloth all in general. You know it's coming.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know it's coming.
Yeah.
There will be nude Urian mods very soon.
Oh boy.
But in addition to Urian being added to the game as a playable character, they also added a few new details with daily targets. Now, what this is basically like small missions that you can complete within the game. The first few that I saw were things that like it asked you to do like 6 V reversals or do like play X amount of ranked matches or whatever. And when you complete these daily targets, you get fight money, because that has been a concern, with the Street Fighter V community, is that getting fight money is hard to do.
Well, you can buy fight money, right?
Well, yeah, you can buy fight money, but like
So why do you think it's hard to get fight money in game? That's
they want
just me.
they want that money, of course. It's all about the money. But I mean, when the game came out, there's two ways to get fight money. You can play online ranked, or you can do like the story mode, like the tutorial modes for each character, do their trials. Like all of that stuff gets you fight money, and you can use the fight money to get like costumes, characters, like titles, like all types of. You could basically use fight money to get everything in the game, except minus a few costumes that they've released very recently, and of course the $30 money stage, the Capcom Pro Tour stage. That shit is expensive. You can't buy that with fight money. But a big concern in the community is that fight money's hard to get. So I definitely am happy about the daily targets. So far they been super easy, and they give you about 500 to 1,000 fight money. And because like if you play online ranked, when you win you get like I think it's 100. I think it's 100 points every win. And so if you're trying to go, I'm not going to do math on this show for you guys, but if you are trying to get a character, you need 100,000 points. So just think how many matches you need to win in ranked.
You get 100 per win.
I'm not doing math. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to make my brain go through the motions of counting.
Oh no!
I'm not even going to do that.
That's a grind.
Yeah, that you are grinding. You'll be grinding for a while. If
And that's
you're just
for one character.
That's for one character. Crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
On top of that, Nikali gets a new costume, and I actually I like it. It's a pretty dope costume. And this was the main meat and potatoes of the update, and it was the anti-crack, anti-cheat solution that they rolled out and then immediately or a couple days later took back.
Right. So what's happening is this particular solution, the anti-crack, anti-cheat, it seemed to have opened a back door into Windows. Mm-hmm. And Windows Defender and some other antivirus programs would block Street Fighter from launching because it showed up as malware.
Yeah. And the reason that this was implemented, and this is on the PC version, is because people were using like mods and cheats in order to get fight money without grinding or paying money. And I'm guilty of this. I have used the 1 round 1 hit mod to beat the survival mode.
What is that?
Okay, so basically, if you play survival mode, there's 3 levels. There's easy. There's 4 levels. There's easy, normal, hard, and then like hell mode or whatever. And each one, it's like you got to play 10 fights on easy, like 20 or 30 fights on normal, 50 fights on hard, and you basically have to just grind through this like gauntlet of battles. And that was how, or it is, still is. That's how you're supposed to unlock the characters.
Right.
Now the mod that I had basically made it so every time I went into survival, it put me at the very last match, and it only took 1 hit to kill the character. So I got all the colors for Ken right off the bat, and beating survival mode gives you a lot of fight money, especially on the higher difficulties. But it takes forever, man. It's a grind. You have to grind that crap out, and a lot of people was not about to have that, and they weren't gonna pay for it. So this was the solution to that, basically to stop people from doing it. And
yeah, apparently they rolled it out very sloppily. I mean, this is not the first time. And just to be clear, this wasn't any type of DRM ad. It was specifically put in just to stop people from cheating the game.
Yeah,
and that's fair enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, it is. I mean, you're cheating. I will admit I cheated to get color number 11 for Ken. I did cheat.
Yeah, DRM is one thing, but just an anti-cheat measure, I don't have problems with it. But the problem,
No.
they just the implementation was sloppy, and this is what happens when you get sloppy.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm just waiting for modders to come out with a new way to do it. Because I mean, I have all the colors I want. I only play as Ken, and I got all of his colors and all of his costumes.
So you're good.
So I'm set, dude. I got no problems with anything that Capcom wants to do to, stop people from cheating their game. And the thing is, I was very stupid in I didn't get like all the fight money that I could have gotten from it, like when
yeah.
I had the chance.
Right now it's patched.
So now it's patched. So now, if I wanted to get more fight money, I have to go through. I had to hit the grind or grind out some cash.
Yeah, one of the two. Right?
One of the two, and I'm not about both. Another small detail, and this wasn't mentioned in the post our source here, but another thing that has been going on in Street Fighter V is input delay, and so. By default, there is an 8-frame delay on your inputs on the PC version, and I believe on both versions. And when it was initially stated, because people ask questions like, why is there an 8-frame delay? Like some people were saying it was in order to, make the online a little bit more seamless. And other people were like, no, that's not the case. And basically Capcom didn't have a reason why. So there has been like measures put into place. So right as it stands right now for the PC version, I can't say the same thing about PS4. There is only a 7-frame delay, which is still bad for most fighting games using 3D models. Normally it would be around 5 frames.
So they improved it by 1 frame.
They improved it by a frame, and I'm guessing that they're going to keep trying to improve it until they get it to a place where it should be, because 7 frames that's a lot. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but like when you're trying to do inputs and block inputs or whatever, and you can't react to stuff just because it's happening too fast, and there's a delay. It definitely messes with the game. So they have put in steps to make it better. So they have decreased it down to 7 frames, and hopefully they get it back to like a normal place, because I think Street Fighter 5 had 5. Street Fighter 4 had 5 frames of delay, of input delay, and I believe that was on the 360 version, which was probably the best version that. Besides the patched PC version or whatever, but they're working on it, and hopefully they get it to where it is, because there's just certain things you just can't react to. It's like it takes you see it coming, and you want to do something about it. Like for me, for instance, I want to hit you with this Shoryuken, but I just can't get the input out fast enough, just because of, and people be like eight frames. That's what you see in the Twitch chat on tournaments. Like those 8 frames, bro, 8 frames. So it looks like they're working on it, which is definitely a good thing. It's only going to make, definitely a plus. Definitely going to make the game a lot, better. It's going to make the game better for everybody. So the more that they work on that, the better. So, we have a long form discussion that we need to get into. That we actually talked about quite a bit, but now it is time for the long form discussion.
So, long form discussion we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about games as a service, and I bring this up because I was actually having a lively debate with this a friend of mine. We were talking about long-term support for a game versus every other year sequels. When I see, you think about like Call of Duty, where you get a new Call of Duty every year, where Assassin's Creed, where you're getting new Assassin's Creeds every year, or you go the route of something like Destiny, where the game's been out like 3 years now, and they've been giving yearly DLC and
expansions and stuff.
Expansions. World of Warcraft, which is subscription with expansions. Even some of the lesser known, like MMO called Guild Wars, which went the expansion route. I mean, there's 3 different there's really two different models to this, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's the three different models. There's the free to play, and you pay to win, right? So free to play,
Yeah,
you
it's
pay
free to
for
play
in-game,
with in-game transactions,
right?
in-game microtransactions.
Then there's purchase to play with regular DLC, and that'd be in the realm of like the Guild Wars, where it was you bought the initial game, you played it, and then it would come out with DLC at regular intervals. And then there's the hybrid version, where you buy the game. Well, there's two hybrid versions. There's the World of Warcraft hybrid, where it's monthly subscription, and you still have to pay for DLCs. And then there's the hybrid where you pay for the game itself. There are regular DLC intervals and their in-game microtransactions. So those are the ones I've seen. I'm not sure of any other versions, but I just want to talk about it because it seems like we're heading down the hill to that. We're on our way to that route, especially with with consoles being online now, with Microsoft really trying to integrate Xbox with Windows. I'm seeing a lot more games where publishers and even developers, maybe not developers on their own, but at the behest of their publisher, are trying to make their games last significantly longer.
Yeah, trying. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I do not play any games that cost a monthly subscription. You know, I don't play MMOs, and that's usually where the MMOs are. It's like you pay for the game. So right off the bat, $60 for the game, and then there's a monthly subscription.
Right.
I like the Final Fantasy MMOs on console. I think 14.
14. Yeah, 14.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. That's a monthly subscription for that game, but you also had to pay for it like up front. Like you had to pay.
But was it $50? I thought it was like 30. Usually they're like 30 or 40.
I don't know how much it costs, but I mean, when I purchase a game, like I play for Xbox Live, like so that's already like a subscription fee. I'm not gonna pay. I don't pay extra subscription fees for anything, man. That's just something that I don't do, and I don't I don't know. I don't agree with that at all, man. God,
Well,
I don't. Go ahead.
see, the subscription game. If it's a subscription game, my expectation is totally that I should get the client for free.
Right. Like if you're paying like I'm not sure how much it is a month, like maybe like $20-$30 a month. But it's like if you're paying that much money per month to play a video game, I should not be paying like for the like actual disc up front or for the game up front. I don't think that should be a thing.
Right. For any type of subscription service, there shouldn't be a charge for the client. That's definitely right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, if you're telling me I got to pay 9, 10, excuse me, 10, 15, $20 a month to play a game to maintain my access, and then you tell me I have to pay you $60 for the client, that's a problem. But if it's one or the other, that's fine. The free-to-play games, one that comes to mind right away is like Smite. And what's the other one? Warhammer?
Warhammer?
Yeah, Warhammer. Yeah, those are, I mean, and then what DC Online Universe is one as well.
Yeah, Marvel. Mm-hmm.
So
that's a free play.
So those games I don't. So those are basically pay to win. We've talked about this before. I hate pay to win.
I don't agree with pay to win either, and this is a reason why I don't get into MMOs is because like they're free to play, but you get into the game, you're very limited to what you can do and what you can access without spending more money.
Right.
So like let's say you get into like I've never played these games. I'm not sure exactly how they work. I'm just spitballing here, but like let's say you go into Marvel or DC Universe Online or whatever. You want a specific power. I don't think that you can get that by just playing the game. You might have to purchase something,
for the most part you could, but it's an obscene grind. I mean, you've got to
it's one or the other. Either it's not possible to get without paying, or you have to just play hours upon hours upon hours. Like for example, we were just talking about Street Fighter and the in-game currency.
Right.
Like you have to play hundreds of matches in order to purchase one significant, like one thing of any like significance, like a stage or a character, that takes hundreds of matches in order to get the points like by yourself.
And don't get it and be disappointed. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh my god, dude. And that's why like I'm not even like so like concerned about the characters in Street Fighter, because I only play one character. But the thing is, like, if I wanted to like see the ins and outs of that character, if I wanted to go into the training room and practice against that character, see what his frame data is, see what I can do against that, I have to unlock that character. I can't, and I'm not gonna pay money for it, and I'm not sure that I like the way that Street Fighter has handled fight money, because like right off the back they said that there's not gonna be a Super Street Fighter V or an Ultra Street Fighter V,
Oh,
which
did they?
yeah,
we
that
talked about
was right
Yeah.
off the bat. And in the past I wasn't a huge fan of that either, even
Right.
though like Capcom has been traditionally releasing updated versions of their game on the same hardware. I think Street Fighter 2 has the Guinness World Record for the amount of versions for the same freaking game. Like that's a thing. So I don't know, man. This just I'm not sure where we're going, but I know that there's been a lot of missteps on the way, like as far as how people are charged for for games, because in any other form of media, there's one way to do it. You buy the movie, you buy the music, and then the music or the movie is yours.
Well,
You play it when you want it, and that's it.
well, that's not necessarily true because, especially with music, movies not so much. But
Well, like I'm talking like if you buy a CD, like
oh right,
there's- yeah, like I'm talking about like the
Yeah.
physical disc or the physical DVD. Like you buy it, that's yours. You
Right.
play it when you want it. There's no like, oh, if you want to see the special features for this
Yeah, pay
movie,
extra.
pay extra.
yeah, you want the bonus track? You gotta give us another $1. You can download it. Type
Right,
deal.
yeah, bonus tracks. It's like
Yeah.
I remember I usually always get like the special editions for albums if I'm gonna buy the album. But even with the special edition, depending on your region, you won't get certain songs.
Right.
Like I remember the Marshall Mathers LP2. That was a track that was only available like overseas or something.
Right. Yeah, but see, this is the thing. I've wanted, let's say, a game as a service for the sports games. Why should I pay $60 a year for?
Oh
Madden?
God, sports games. Ooh,
Why should I
man.
pay $60 a year for Madden? Where for the most every other year is when I get an update. Every year, what you're basically getting is roster update. Why not just let me pay for the roster update? I don't mind. The engine is fine, that type of thing, or NBA 2K, even the baseball game. I mean, MLB The Show. They did a solid by letting you carry over your season, but I still have to buy a whole new $60 game with a bunch of new features that I honestly really don't care less
for.
about.
Yeah.
I don't care about the mini games in Madden. I just want to play my franchise. I don't give a shit about the my player extra stuff he can do while Spike Lee directed my player story in NBA 2K. Who gives a I don't care. I just want to play
Freaking
basketball.
Michael B. Jordan with.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is Michael B. Jordan doing in NBA 2K? He
Yeah,
don't play no damn basketball.
Don't care about that. Just give me the just give me the roster update and I'll pay you I'll pay $30 a year for that. I think that's fair. $15, $30, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with the sports genre, because $60 every single year, that's a bit much.
It's a money grab because they know they can do minimal updates because they use the same engine. All they have to do is do
and
roster updates.
especially with Madden, with them being the only NFL game on the market.
Right.
That's a little much, man.
Yeah, and they got sued and lost because they can. There was a class action suit brought up against them. The class action lost because even though Madden has the exclusive on EA has exclusive on football, the judge says it's not the only video game. You can play other video games. You don't have to play the football video game. You can play other video games, and that's where that falls apart. But
That's crazy though, because with them being the only NFL video game, it doesn't give other companies an incentive to make video games because they don't have the NFL
Right.
license.
It's no point. It's the same
There's
thing
no
with
point.
it's the same thing with baseball. So Sony, if Sony has an exclusive on baseball, they have a first party exclusive.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So
I know they've been making those MLB the shows for like ever.
forever. Yeah. The way it works is kind of convoluted. It's basically EA had gotten out of the baseball game. Had gotten out of baseball, and 2K was the only ones making a baseball game up until like 2014 or 2013, I think, and they stopped. But their game was significantly worse. I played both of them; they were significantly not as good. But the way they set it up is Sony. If you make a baseball game, if you're not Sony and you make a baseball game, it has to be playable on all available consoles.
No, I don't see what the problem with that is.
If Microsoft wanted to make their own baseball game for Xbox, they have to make it
Oh
compatible with Sony.
yeah. I mean,
So
as far as first party, but like
yeah,
if Activision or somebody wanted to make a baseball game, that wouldn't necessarily be a problem.
right.
But I mean, I feel like the baseball video game is
It's
a
a niche.
niche is
Yeah,
niche
definitely it's a
genre
niche, yeah.
that nobody cares about it.
No.
But I do remember. I think this was it was either on 360 or the OG Xbox. I can't remember how long this goes back, but 2K was making NFL games. You had the NFL 2K series.
Yeah, that was the last one. I don't remember the last.
The last one was actually like 2K like All Star Football 20 whatever year, and they because they couldn't use the license, and it was a legit football game, and it used like they tried to like use like legends or people that
Right.
weren't actually like in the NFL. Like that was like
That was
the
their claim to fame, right?
that was like kind of like the thing that they tried to do in order to avoid using like NFL teams. They just used like legendary NFL
Players. Yeah.
players on like a fictional like football league or whatever. And I don't believe that it sold well because that was the only one that they did post EA getting the license.
Yeah, it was like 2K8, right? All Pro
Yeah,
2K8.
all pro 2K8. Yeah,
And they had Jerry Rice and Barry Sanders and John Elway.
right.
They had fake teams.
Fake teams,
Yeah,
fake
I mean,
for a fake league, and
right. They had all the proper cities, but it was just fake teams, and it just didn't go over well because
yeah, it didn't go over well. I remember Midway tried to do the same thing because they had been doing the extreme sports,
Right.
NFL Blitz for like ever.
ever. Yeah.
And once the EA got the license, they were no longer able to use the NFL. So they went and created their own league, created their own football teams and players, and I think it was called Blitz the League. I remember it because I bought it. And
Yeah.
to me, that shit was awesome.
My brother was a big fan of that.
Yeah, Blitz.
League.
You were hitting, you were killed. Like people were dying.
It showed you the X-rays of the bones.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
Yeah,
I was like, it was so fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that was the very last one that they made, and since Midway has gone away, there have been Blitz games to be released since then, but under EA. EA basically acquired or leased or whatever they did. They got the rights to the Blitz IP, and they released one it was a few years ago. They released one on Xbox Live Arcade. It was an okay game, and they did the same thing for NBA Jam as well. But this was after Midway
dissolved. Yeah,
dissolved and whatnot.
yeah. But
So,
going back to
yeah, get back on track.
back on track here. Yeah. So when I look at a game as a service, I'm not. I would prefer that model. I prefer the model of in my favorite game, Destiny. I prefer their model. If you're gonna give me a game as a service, I prefer you to let me buy the client and pay for it. Give me quite regular DLCs once a year, every 6 months, what have you. I know lead time is different based on what you're developing, and it has some in-game microtransactions, but most so with the last update, no, Yeah, all of the in-game microtransactions are still cosmetic because they added a new currency. It's hard as hell to get. You could get it through microtransactions, but all it does is it adds bling to your gear.
Okay.
They're called ornaments. It's no big deal. The other thing they did add that you can buy using real money are rep boosters, reputation boosters. That's a bit of a play to win. It basically allows you to gain more XP for 2 hours. They drop pretty regularly, so I don't see
Okay.
any reason why you would want to buy that. It's a waste. But I like that model. Let me pay for cosmetics. There's going to be the very dedicated group that's paying for cosmetic that's not affecting the gameplay, especially if you're playing something that has a PvP component. And give me content, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, I definitely agree with that. I just think that the only reason Destiny was able to basically live this long off of like a single title and just release the regular updates is because of Bungie, man. Bungie just has a strong fan base and a reputation for quality games, and
You haven't played Destiny, have you?
not in a long time. But I mean, because I remember when they said like, "Yo, Destiny is going to be like a 10-year cycle,"
And they're
or
still
whatever.
on that. They're standing by that 10-year cycle thing.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. Like it's hard, man. It's hard to just pin gaming as a service to one model. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
So I definitely prefer having a game or purchasing a game, having the option of buying additional DLC if I choose to,
right.
and then if there's microtransactions, it does not impact how the game is played.
See, that's where you lose in Destiny because you have to buy the DLC. Because if you don't buy the DLC, you might as well stop playing because there's no advancement for you.
Yeah.
You can still play the PvP multiplayer, the Crucible, but you get into a limited playlist. But as
Yeah.
far as advancing your character or advancing into the story, there's none of that if you don't buy the DLC. And again, don't necessarily mind that because if the game is compelling enough, something I want to play, I'm going to buy the DLC anyway. I won't
Well,
feel
yeah,
cheated.
yeah.
But I understand why they would do that is because they have to generate revenue.
Yeah, they need money, man.
Yeah. But I prefer that particular model. I hate the subscription stuff. I don't need that. Everybody wants to get you subscribed to something. They want you to subscribe to TV, Netflix. You got to subscribe to music. When you look at Spotify, and Apple
Spotify.
Music, and Google Play Music, they want you to subscribe to everything. You got Hulu, they want your money. Games want your money. You got to subscribe to the networks, please, PSN and Xbox Live. I mean, I, there's food. There's I don't know if you've heard of them. Oh, I can't think of the name of them now. Um,
Food subscriptions? Is that what
yeah,
you saying?
it's literally it's a food subscription. They're called um, oh my gosh, Blue Apron.
Ah, yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, Blue Apron. They subscription for food. There's subscriptions for
Subscription for
clothes. I
clothes.
mean, everybody wants you to just give them money every month. I mean,
Every
no,
month.
stop. Leave me alone. I don't have
Yeah,
to.
let me buy it when I want to, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely weird, and it's a much larger conversation to be had with that. But
I will say this:
okay, so your ideal model for gaming as a service, what would it be?
it's the current model Destiny is running.
Okay.
Regular DLC, regular paid DLC. I don't mind it being forced. You have to have the DLC to continue in the game. That's fine. With microtransactions that are generally most exclusively cosmetic
Cosmetic,
in
yeah.
nature. I'm fine with that. That's the model I prefer. I definitely don't like. I no, absolutely no to a monthly subscription service. I would like to see a sports game type service where I'm just paying a yearly fee for roster updates.
For roster updates or like, because god damn, like how How much can you really add to Madden in a year? You know what I'm saying?
$60 every year for the same thing.
That's just perplexing to me. I can't even.
I stopped buying it on release. I never pay $60 for Madden. I play Madden and I play FIFA. I refuse to pay $60 for both those games anymore. I wait for the black. I mean, the last time I bought them, it was I just got them in January of this year, and there was a sale that you can get. It was a bundled sale, Madden and FIFA, for like $45 or $50.
That's a steal right there.
Yeah, and that's how I always buy it now, because I don't think it's worth buying the same sports game every year just for essentially what is a roster update.
Yeah, unless you're collecting all of the freaking box arts and you got like all of the different players that show up on the cover art. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't even have my Xbox 360 anymore.
Yeah, so
I don't even have my old OG Xbox One.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh, what'd you do with it? You traded it in?
Yeah, I sold it. I didn't trade it in. I sold it to some Craigslist dude.
Oh damn.
Come on.
Shit.
Let me keep it for.
I don't know. I don't know why you would keep it.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I can agree with you. For the most part, it's just when you have a game that is on, one platform and then DLC comes out that basically fragments the player base. That's not what I'm about. And
No.
I go back to Street Fighter, where they had Street Fighter 4, then they had Super Street Fighter 4, then Ultra. And basically, if you didn't update, you couldn't play with those players online anymore. You were playing the previous version. It was still running, but you were basically like cut out of any of the patches, the updates, or new characters or what have you. They were exclusive to this version of the game.
Right.
And that's something that I
don't like that. I mean, they do that with a lot of the FPS games, like the Call of Duty game, when they release the DLC packs. Mm-hmm. The first pack, they have the DLC map, and then they have the non-DLC map. But as it goes along, they move the DLC back. They move the DLC down. They just move it down like one level. Mm-hmm. So you wind up getting limited playlists available.
Limited playlists. I don't like fragmenting the
right.
player base. Because of a DLC, I don't. But I mean, there's never gonna be. I don't think there's ever gonna be like one certain model, especially with like MMOs, because there's so many types of games, so many ways to sell, certain like items or products or whatever, and it's a really interesting question, and one we may have to come back to, at a later time,
right.
Because. Like you were saying, like the models that we currently have are definitely changing. A lot of MMOs, a lot of subscription based MMOs have gone free to play.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to drastically change.
To be quite honest, that subscription based model is really only work for World of Warcraft. Mm-hmm. Nobody's ever been able to duplicate or replicate that,
not nearly as long as they've been doing it.
Not as long or as successful. I mean, Sony tried it with Star Wars, and that failed. I mean, if Star Wars can't do it, nobody can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's the ultimate geek culture, right?
Yeah. Oh God, Star Wars, what? Yeah.
So,
So that was a long form discussion. Let us know what you guys think about it, either in the comments or on our Facebook page, because we are gonna go ahead and end the show at that point. Like I was saying, our Facebook page, definitely go there and follow us. All of our show notes and everything will be listed there. You can also follow us on Twitter at AW Gaming NS. That's us on Twitter. Definitely follow us on Twitter. We have a YouTube page. We don't have a custom link yet because we are not at 100 subscribers. We're still growing. The links will be on our Facebook page. Definitely go and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Please. Trenell here puts a lot of work.
I'll put a lot.
If you watch the YouTube video, I mean, if you're watching us live, is one thing. You watch the video after the edits, it's actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good.
Check it out.
And seeing as how far I've come as far as getting the videos out on a regular basis, I think it's definitely been I've been on a upward spiral as far as the YouTube content has been going, and we also post other videos, unboxings, and any other ideas that we can come up with. We're definitely going to be posting there a lot, so make sure that you subscribe to us on there as well. And Boogie, why don't you explain to them where they can listen to us?
So if you want to listen to our show on the go, you can get us on iTunes, you can get us on Google Play, you can get us on TuneIn Radio, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Me personally, I've said this before, I use the Overcast app. We're in there. We're on the Apple podcast app, or whatever other whatever other podcast app you use. We are there. You can search us either way, AWGNS or A Weekly Gaming News Show spelled out. If you check us out, go on Google Play, go on TuneIn Radio, go on iTunes, rate us, let us know how we're doing.
Let us know,
and we'll take your comments to heart.
Yeah, because we're only trying to make the show a better experience for you guys. We definitely appreciate any support or constructive criticism. It is always welcome. But with that being said, we are gonna get up out of here. As always, I am Trenell.
I am Todd.
He's Boogie. Don't
Up jump the Boogie.
Up jump the Boogie. There we go.
You can catch me on Xbox in the next hour or so.
Yeah, he's about to get back on that Destiny.
I'm gonna tackle this raid here.
Tackle that raid. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get up out of here, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Peace out.